Hello, everyone. Hello, Alix. This is our fifth installment of YAPT.
Number five. This is the number fifth. This is the number fifth. You can say that. Okay. So episode number five of YAPT. It's going to be a little bit of a different format today. We usually talk about what has happened in the ecosystem recently. And I think today we agreed to talk about what is upcoming, as opposed to things that are done already. So more so things to look forward to as opposed to looking back, basically.
I love it. We're in the future.
Exactly. That's what we're doing. We're in the future. Great. Do you wanna get started? Do you wanna kick us off?
Yeah. I know you just kind of teed it up in a way where we're going to be talking about the future, but I did just want to quickly talk over something big that happened just yesterday, which is Aave coming one step closer to its first ever non-EVM deployment on Aptos. In case y'all missed it, what happened yesterday is an ARFC, which is the Aave request for final comment, was published for approval to the Aave DAO. And pending their approval, that means Aptos comes one step closer to being Aave's first non-EVM deployment to Aptos mainnet. So very exciting in case you all missed that yesterday.
Yeah, and that does fit into something happening in the future because, as you mentioned, the proposal is open for voting, but it's not yet. The consensus hasn't been reached yet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But talking a little bit about why Aptos and the key benefit that having Aave v3 deployed on Aptos mainnet. I think there has been eight that have been listed that we can talk about really quickly. So Aave was on Ethereum, and there's other advantages of being on a blockchain like Aptos, which uses the Move language, as we all know by now. Um, so it would be a strategic position also for because of Aptos's background with DM, Libra, and Facebook team, which does bring a certain type of expertise that's a little bit different. Obviously, we always talk about the very high transaction throughput that Aptos brings to the table. Also, obviously, very strong security with the Move language, which is something that you can't look over. The transactions are much cheaper, so big cost efficiency as well. Um, Obviously, Aptos also does offer a modular and flexible architecture, which is very different from what we're used to seeing with EVM base. And then there's economic benefits for the Aave DAO, and you can see way more details in the proposal, which has been posted on the Aptos official page, and by Aave as well. So look deeper into this to have an understanding of what that means, what that could bring, and what are the next steps also for this proposal to move forward.
Nice. Fingers crossed. We're one step closer. I think we're crossing the finish line. I something I saw a tweet yesterday, I think from Aptopia, and I just thought it was funny, but the headline really got me. They were saying like, is EVM becoming obsolete? And I clicked in and it was the Aave on Aptos News. I just thought that was really
Mhm.
funny, just in case people don't realize like truly how big of a move this is. Coming to the first ever non-EVM chain, move-based change being Aptos, like this will huge and like open a lot of doors as it relates to DeFi. So big news coming.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the next. We've been working on this for a long time. That's something that has been announced a while ago. Actually, I think a year ago by now. And so it's really, really exciting to see it moving forward and the different steps. And also to have the DAO involved and the community involved into the decision making here. So
Right.
exciting.
I also just really wanted to highlight, since we last spoke, Aptos has crossed a huge stablecoin milestone, I think at the end of March, but now that's taking us through to April. But for the first time ever, Aptos' stablecoin market cap surpassed 1 billion. And it's pretty much remained steady since the end of March, but it's only continuing to grow. I think just this morning I was reading that in the past 7 days alone, more than 70 million in stable coins were added in the last 7 days. So continuing to trend upwards. And of course, Tether remains the leading stable coin on Aptos, making up just over 65% of total stablecoin market cap supply. So again, just to recap, I know we've talked about stablecoins in the past, but if people haven't been paying attention, why does this matter? It's because Aptos is really cementing itself as a stablecoin powerhouse with native support for USDT, USDC, and I think there's USDE as well. very tongue-tied try saying that 3 times fast, but I really just wanted to double down on highlight some of the recent stablecoin momentum that we haven't yet seen slow down since the end of March.
Yeah, I feel like we mention stablecoins every video because there's always something new happening. So whether it's a milestone in terms of volumes or market cap, we've also mentioned a lot of times that we have all three biggest stablecoins integrated, or Aptos being integrated, and so USDC, USDT that you mentioned being the majority of the market cap and volume, and then USDE on Ethena is the third one.
I'm gonna stop talking about the past and talk about what's coming up. I'll kick it to you to kind of walk us through what people can look forward to.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about events. We know that the beginning of the year is a little bit slower in Web3 for events, and then you reach about April and then it just kickstarts. And so I do want to highlight the events that Aptos is going to have a presence at. This means that's where you can meet with us. That's also where you're going to learn alphas, meet the ecosystem, the builders. There's always good stuff that happens when you meet the people in real life. And so I do want to highlight what's upcoming. In about a week, we are going to be headed to Token 2049 in Dubai. There's going to be a pretty big portion of the team present there. We're going to have a booth at the main conference, so you can always, come and find us there. But if you want to have a little bit of fun, we do have 4 events that we are either hosting or co-hosting. The first one being Multi-Chain Day. It's on the 29th, and we're also going to have, I believe, 2 panels there. One is going to be with ecosystem, one is going to be, I think David is going to be yapping.
Nice.
Very dear David, I believe. And then the second one is the LFM Launch Party. We talked a lot about LFM. The last episode that we had Eric from Amnis, who had no, who was going to go into TGE. TGE had not happened yet.
That's true.
Yeah, but they were the first one of the first cohort to go live though. So that's the last episode we did. So we're doing the official launch party at Token 2049. This is going to be co-hosted by Bubble Maps. If you guys do not know Bubble Maps yet, they are a very visual, very beautiful analytics platform for on-chain data, specifically tokens. They do investigations as well, very, very active Twitter. And if you want alphas and if you want to see what is going on behind tokens and their allocation and the distribution, they're the people to go to. So they're going to be co-hosting that with us, as well as we're going to be joined by Amnis, obviously, Echo as well. I believe Eris will be joining us as well, and then Pact. So the cohort from
Nice.
the LFM program is going to be present. Don't miss it. It's going to be on the 30th, and that's going to be pretty exciting. The third event that we're going to have is going to be hosted with Clickle, and it's going to be the Web3 PayFi Oasis. And I think it's in a venue that they have, which is like a golfing place, so that should be fun too. The last one is Hack Seasons by Metaverse. That one is a little bit more directed towards dev and technical builders. So that's the presence that we're gonna have, which is gonna be pretty big. After Token 2049, we're headed to North America for Consensus Toronto. I think one interesting timing for Consensus Toronto is that obviously this is not the US, but it's part of North America, and there's a lot of builders in Toronto. Obviously, we all know the University of Waterloo is a one that's filled with talents and probably future founders and builders. And that's one of the reasons why we're going to be participating in another EasyA hackathon. We had one in Hong Kong, that we mentioned also. I believe the one in Toronto is said to be the biggest hackathon in North America. So that's exciting. That's US, Canada. We're expecting a very big crowd there. Do not miss the deadline to apply. I've told that to a lot of people, but really do apply. It's very easy. It should take about 5 minutes, not even, honestly. So yeah, very, very big hackathon coming up at Consensus Toronto, which is going to be May 13th and 14th, I believe, in exactly a month. The third thing being on a different part of the world. So we talked about Dubai, we talked about Toronto. Now we're going to head to Japan, where the Aptos Horizon, which is an accelerator, is currently happening. This is something that we're doing with Ashport and the Osaka government, actually. It officially kickstarted a week ago, and from what I've seen, it seems like it's absolutely an immaculate vibe, and I'm super excited to get to meet the founders and the teams in person in May. So the program is going to run up until early June, where there's going to be a demo day. The cohort is 10 projects across different verticals. We have infrastructure and protocols, DeFi and financial access, commerce and RWAs, and then NFT and gaming. There's a mix of half the cohort is Japanese teams, Japanese-based products, and then the other one is people who are global but trying to break into the Japanese market. Uh, I can name them. There's 10 teams there. Semantics is one. Ekiden, which I believe Haley you want to mention in a little bit as well. This one I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but it's XWin. Then we have Yuzumoni, Metas, Values Co, Salt Sweet, Amaterasu, and Frosties. So those are the 10 teams that you can look forward to the development in the next couple of weeks.
Gosh, I feel like every other time that we record, you're giving like a summary of like events that you've attended or events you have coming up. And I don't know how you do it, but I feel like this next couple of round of events that we have coming up is something for everybody. Whether you want fun, whether you want FaceTime with the leaks, you want more builder opportunities, you want networking, you want to get to know the projects in LFM, something for everybody. I love it.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. That is very true. Whether you're a very early builder, you want to build an Aptos, then you can apply to the hackathon. If you are a little bit more advanced in the pipeline, this accelerator obviously is great. If you want to co-host events with us or you're ready to launch token, want to know more about LFM, Dubai, there is a little bit about of everything. And then there's going to be something else coming up for permissionless, which is in June, which we'll probably talk in the next episode.
I'm looking forward to it. You'll have to give me all the on the ground updates.
I will for sure, you know that.
Just to close out this episode, I think we had three new projects that officially launched on Aptos or came out of stealth this month. One of them being Icodin, which is building an institutional grade club dex for perps and I believe spot trading as well. But they just officially launched, I think, within the last week or two. So if you haven't already, it sounds like you have an opportunity to meet them at where? Remind me. You've named too many events.
Aptos Horizon.
Aptos Horizon. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm already getting all jumbled, but check out the Icon team if you haven't already. I think they're poised to be one of our leading DeFi players, so get to know them for sure. Other projects that have either come out of stealth or officially launched this month are Revive Finance, which is building a leveraged yield platform on Aptos. They too came out of stealth, I think, within the last week or two. And then the last one being Play AI, who I don't believe has officially launched yet, but they are a project that we had the opportunity to meet with earlier this year at Aptos Exponential. They announced that, exciting news. I think we all saw coming that they are officially launching on Aptos, and what they're doing is they're building on Aptos to really fuel this agentic economy. So look out for them. I keep scouring their Twitter, and they have a lot of teasers where there's more to come. So definitely follow along for that ride if you haven't already. Um, and then the last couple projects that I really just wanted to shout out today is there are a couple projects that I've announced. They will be launching mainnet soon. I think some of these folks, again, we've talked about in the past, Banana Predictions and Coffee Finance, as well as Tap. Sorry, I kind of blended those together, but Tap Exchange. All three of those are projects that came out of our Aptos Exponential program earlier this year. I think we can all look forward to them launching mainnets sometime in May. I know Coffee in particular has done a really amazing job in terms of like building connections with the Aptos
Yeah.
Collective and generating excitement within the community. So I think a lot of people are really looking forward to them as the next gen liquid staking solution for Aptos.
Yeah, and talking about coffee, so we know that the Southeast Asia Blockchain Week got canceled because of the pretty dramatic event that happened in Bangkok. But they did plan on hosting a side event there and they did host it. And what's funny is that I was
Really?
meeting with someone, yeah, I was meeting with someone who is not yet in the Aptos ecosystem earlier, and he mentioned that he went to that event and obviously the protocol is called coffee and it was a coffee cafe like Aptos Cafe. A lot of people showed up and you would pay for coffee with crypto. So
Cool.
that's a fun experience. And I think as you mentioned, they've done a really good job as really connecting with the community and users and the rest of the ecosystem. And that's always something that's very promising to me, especially before launch. So very much looking forward to that. You mentioned Tap Exchange as well. I believe both Coffee and Tap will be coming to Dubai. So if you want to connect with them also, you know, uh, you can make that happen there. I believe they're gonna be showing up to Multi-Chain Day and the LFM Party and a bunch of other ones. So Definitely exciting launches. Looking forward to it.
Just double down on what you just said, the importance of really like building these connections with the Aptos community and the ecosystem early on. One thing that I didn't mention in regards to coffee and tap is two completely separate projects, but they're actually timing their mainnet launches together, which is one really good example of like what it means to foster these connections really early and really work together on having a cohesive integration come day one. I think in addition to tap, coffee is also integrated with Kana Labs, Panora, Superposition, Revive Finance. I'm sure there's like 400 others that I didn't name, but they've just absolutely been crushing it in anticipation of their mainnet launch. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe in the next episode they'll be live. Who knows? We shall see. We obviously didn't cover everything that's upcoming. We just wanted to highlight some things that have to do with launches, events, bigger announcements as well. And I think it's a pretty good roundup for today, isn't it?
Always, always is. But yeah, there's never enough time in the day to cover everything happening in the ecosystem. But good opportunity if you ever want to join us for a conversation. Maybe next time we have some coffee with the coffee team and we have a little chat. But you
That's
never know where
great.
YAPT will take us.
That's a great idea. Maybe we should do a coffee time or wine time, depending on what time of the day we do it.
Hey, not opposed. I like that idea. Like you're thinking.
Let's do it. Okay, well, thank you. Bye, Haley.
Until next time.